We all know that gender ideology doesn't make any sense. Conservatives have spoken until we are blue in the face about how it is biologically absurd and metaphysically incoherent. But there's one aspect of the gender ideology that I think we have failed to identify and failed to appreciate, and that is the narcissism that suffuses the whole movement. The entirety of gender ideology is just people talking about themselves. And they're not talking about just any aspect of themselves. They're talking about the most basic, most physical, lowest characteristics of themselves. It is an expression of narcissism in a culture and an age that is particularly prone to narcissism. The historian and social critic Christopher Lasch pointed out that in an age of narcissism, you will have a poverty of ideology, and you will have a poverty of the inner life. There is no ideology to gender ideology. An ideology is an expression of the intellect. Gender ideology is nothing more than an expression of the will. We are told that we have to call people by incorrect and imaginary pronouns simply because they want us to. And that's that. There is nothing rich or deep or profound about calling yourself a pan, trans, thank you ma'am, gender person of the LGBT LMNOP spectrum. There is nothing deep about that at all. That actually will lead one to have a very empty inner life. This is why I call it narcissism, because narcissism doesn't just mean being kind of selfish. We're all a little bit selfish. Some more so, some less so, but everyone is a little selfish. What I'm talking about is a little more pathological, a little more pernicious than that. The narcissist demands constant affirmation. The narcissist's self-esteem relies on the constant affirmation of others. So we see the demands for affirmation in precisely these terms. One thing that the left and the right can agree on in this country is that we have a mental health crisis. Anxiety is up, depression is up, suicide is up. What are we doing to fix it? So far, we have exalted psychologists, some of the most famous celebrities in American culture in our age and for the last 100 years have been psychologists. But this therapeutic approach does not seem to be working. Therapy, devoid of philosophy and religion, can't solve the problem because a man might find consolation in philosophy. A man might find salvation in religion. But in psychology, man will find nothing but himself. The answer is humility. A healthy culture values humility. An unhealthy culture celebrates pride. The answer to this problem is relatively simple. Whether or not it's easy is another matter, but it is simple. We are not called upon to think less of ourselves. But if we want to solve this rampant crisis, this gender identity crisis, this broader identity crisis, this mental health crisis, we do not need to think less of ourselves, but we absolutely must think of ourselves less.